Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are going to talk about coronary artery diseases, and according to some books these are called ischemic heart diseases. So what are coronary artery diseases? It is a clinical pathological syndrome because of imbalance between the oxygen supply and demand of the myocardium. In short, we can say that the loss of equilibrium of oxygen supply and oxygen demand of myocardium, that is decreased oxygen supply but increased oxygen demand causes ischemic heart diseases. So, what are the causes of these decreased oxygen supply? The most important and the most common cause in 90% of the cases of coronary artery diseases, atheromas are involved. So, atheromas or the atherosclerotic plaques constitutes the 90% of coronary artery diseases. These are basically the fibrophatic plaques which are formed within the intima of the blood vessel, and the disease is called atherosclerotic disease. These atheromas are subclassified into stable plaque or unstable plaque. Basically, in the stable plaque, the fibrous capsule of the plaque is basically very thick and firm, so there are no changes occurs in these plaque. These are hemodynamically stable plaque. While in the unstable plaque, these unstable plaques are called dynamic plaques because of the easily changes occurs in these plaque. There is a thin fibrous capsule on these plaque, and this unstable plaque is more vulnerable to rupture and more vulnerable to ulceration. Because of ulceration, easily there is a sticking of platelet occurs, that is excessive thrombi formation over the plaque, and this thrombus then may become emboli in the vessels. So this unstable plaque is much more dangerous as compared to the stable plaque. The other very rare causes of decreased oxygen supply are aortic dissection. Basically, in the dissection of aorta, suppose this is the left side of the heart and this is aorta. In the aortic dissection, there is basically a cutting of intima. Due to cutting of intima, in between the intima and in between the middle layer of the vessel, that is tunica media, blood is accumulated. When the blood is accumulated between these two layers, here the coronary artery arises from the aorta. So this blood accumulated between the tunica media and tunica intima and presses this coronary artery. So this aortic dissection very rarely decreases the oxygen supply to the heart as well. The other rare causes involve coronary stenosis in lytic aortitis. Basically, in tertiary syphilis, there is an inflammation of aorta. So inflammation of aorta may leads to the inflammation of coronary artery, because the coronary artery basically originates from the aorta. So the other rare causes are coronary artery vasculitis like polyarteritis nodosa or other vasculitis conditions. Other rare causes are coronary emboli because of the fat embolus or any other emboli like infective endocarditis. Vegetations may convert into emboli, as we have discussed in the lectures of infective endocarditis. Other rare causes are paradoxical emboli, especially in the septal heart defects. Basically the deep vein thrombosis may becomes emboli and enters into the right heart. From the right heart, due to septal defects, enter into the left heart and then into the aorta, and very rarely may occlude the coronary arteries as well. Other causes are polycythemia vera, that is increased RBC count, so the blood becomes very viscous. Due to high viscous blood, the slow movement in the coronary arteries and decreased oxygen supply to the heart. Severe anemia is also one of the cause of decreased oxygen supply, because of decreased oxygen carrying capacity of the blood and decreased hemoglobin. There is decreased oxygen supply to the heart as well, and in same COPD, that is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, also decreases the oxygen supply to the various tissues involving the heart. So all these are the causes of decreased oxygen supply. Remember, the most important and the most common cause of coronary artery disease is atherosclerosis or atheromatous plaques. Now come to the causes of increased oxygen demand of the myocardium. The important cause is left ventricular hypertrophy. This left ventricular hypertrophy is maybe due to severe systemic hypertension. Aortic stenosis increases the afterload of the heart and ultimately increases the workload on the heart. also aortic regurgitation and hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. So these are the various causes of left ventricular hypertrophy and increases the oxygen demand because of the increased workload on the heart. Tachycardia or increased heart rate because of the stress and because of the exercise also contributes to increased oxygen demand of the myocardium for the oxygen. Hyperthyroidism, as we know, that increased metabolism of the body as well as increased sensitivity of the beta receptors also increases the oxygen demand of the heart because of increased metabolic rate of the body. And pregnancy is a physiological condition in which the oxygen demand of the bodies increases. Left heart is more commonly involved in the coronary artery disease and in the ischemic heart disease as compared to the right heart, because the left heart has thick musculature as compared to the right heart, as well as the left ventricle has to generate more pressure, so it has to develop more tension. That's why there are more chances, or it is more vulnerable to develop the ischemic heart disease as compared to the right ventricle. Now come to the certain risk factors for the ischemic heart diseases. The most worst risk factor is diabetes mellitus, and the other very common risk factor, the common risk factor is hypertension, while the worst risk factor is diabetes mellitus. The other factors are hyperlipidemia, that is increased level of LDL and decreased level of HDL. Age is also important. Old age persons are more prone to develop the ischemic heart disease as compared to young persons. Gender and the premenopausal females are less prone to develop the ischemic heart disease, while after the menopause, male and female ratio is equal. Cigarette smoking is one of the independent factor for developing the ischemic heart disease. After quitting the cigarette, there are 50% of the chances to develop 50% reduced chances of developing the ischemic heart diseases. So the other risk factors are family history of coronary artery diseases, obesity, alcohol abuse, sedentary lifestyle, stress factor, and dietary. When there is a lack of vegetables and lack of fruits as well as increased fatty diet may increases the risk of developing the ischemic heart disease. Now come to the clinical presentation of ischemic heart diseases or the coronary artery diseases. It patient may be asymptomatic, or the patient may develop the stable angina pectoris. Also, some other clinical presentations are unstable angina, myocardial infarction, which may be non-STEMI, that is non-ST elevation MI, or STEMI, that is ST elevation MI, and sudden cardiac death. Remember, the important point here is that unstable angina, myocardial infarction, and sudden cardiac death. These three constitutes ACS, that is acute coronary syndrome. Now come to the prognostic factors. If the left main coronary artery, which basically supplies the two-third of the heart, if it is involved in the coronary artery diseases, then it is worst prognostic factor. Worst prognosis. Two or three coronary arteries are involved is also a bad prognostic factor, and left ventricular ejection fraction, if below 50%, it is also a bad prognostic factor. So this was whole about the coronary artery disease introduction. We will discuss the stable angina pectoris in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video.